Imagine the heart-pounding intensity of a football transfer window, a real-life drama where fortunes can be won or lost in a single phone call. Picture the summer sun blazing down on training grounds across Europe. Sweat and anticipation thicken the air as club executives burn the midnight oil and supporters refresh their news feeds every few seconds. In this high-stakes theater, fortunes are made, destinies rewritten, and legacies forged. Now, zoom in on a tale where history, rivalry, and desperation collide. Sheffield Wednesday, one of the storied pillars of English football, is teetering on the edge of a financial abyss. Their bank accounts are running dry, their best players are available for the right price, and even paying wages has become a luxury. Meanwhile, far to the north, Rangers Football Club, one of the most decorated and fiercely supported teams in Scotland, see a rare opportunity to tip the scales in their eternal tug-of-war with Celtic Football Club. At stake, not just domestic bragging rights, but European glory, millions in prize money, and the loyalty of a fan base whose demands never waver. But as the transfer window clock ticks down, every decision grows more critical. The future of these clubs, the dreams of their supporters, and the fate of millions of pounds hang in the balance. Can Rangers seize the moment, exploit Sheffield Wednesday's crisis, and build a team capable of dethroning Celtic and making waves in Europe? Or will hesitation and miscalculation see this once-in-a-generation opening slip away? To unravel this drama, we need to step back and understand the context. Rangers and Celtic, together known as the Old Firm, have dominated Scottish football for generations. Their rivalry is not just about sport, it is woven into the social and cultural fabric of Glasgow, and indeed, Scotland itself. In recent years, Celtic has pulled ahead, stringing together title after title, while Rangers have often found themselves playing catch-up, both on and off the pitch. The gap has not only been about silverware, but also about financial muscle, player recruitment, and European relevance. However, change is brewing. Under the guidance of Russell Martin, a manager known for his innovative approach and calm under pressure, Rangers are plotting a resurgence. Martin's task? To assemble a squad that can fight on multiple fronts, domestic and continental, without jeopardizing the club's financial future. This summer, two names have shot to the top of Rangers' wish list: Josh Windass and JD Gassama, both currently plying their trade at crisis-hit Sheffield Wednesday. But these two targets represent very different bets. Josh Windass is no stranger to Ibrox. 7 years ago, he wore the Rangers blue, notching up 19 goals in 73 appearances, a strike rate that made him a fan favorite. His time at Rangers launched him into the English leagues, where he has since become an icon at Sheffield Wednesday. Last season alone, Windass scored 13 goals in the championship, a testament to his consistency and big-game temperament. Now, at 31 years of age, and with only 1 year left on his contract, Windass is at a crossroads. The prospect of one more adventure, perhaps a return to the club that shaped him, hangs tantalizingly in the air. But there are complications. His age, his injury record, and the mix of nostalgia and pressure that comes with returning to a former club. On the other side of the spectrum is JD Gassama, a player who represents raw potential. At just 21 years old, Gassama is already turning heads across Europe. Last season, he registered a 60% dribbling success rate and a shot accuracy of 45%, numbers that would be impressive for any winger, let alone one in his early 20s. His ability to take on defenders, beat them with pace, and create chances out of nothing has seen him compared to some of the most exciting young talents in the game. But youth brings uncertainty. Can Gassama withstand the pressure cooker atmosphere of Ibrox, where every touch of the ball is scrutinized by tens of thousands of passionate fans? Can he adapt his game to the tactical demands of Russell Martin, who favors a possession-based system requiring discipline and intelligence off the ball? The transfer saga is made even more tense by Sheffield Wednesday's dire financial straits. English Football League auditors have flagged the club as being in urgent need of cash. At least £5 million must be raised from player sales before August, or the threat of administration becomes very real. Staff wages have already been delayed, and the club's very future hangs by a thread. This creates a classic fire sale scenario, where top talents are available at discounted prices, but also where rival clubs are keen to swoop in for bargains. Wrexham, the Hollywood-backed Welsh club making headlines for their meteoric rise, are preparing a lucrative offer for Windass. Derby County, Norwich City, and Coventry City are all circling, hoping to outbid each other and lure the Sheffield Wednesday talisman south. Even German clubs are monitoring the situation, adding an international dimension to this already frenzied race. For Rangers, the opportunity is as enticing as it is fraught with risk. Reports suggest that Rangers have made an initial offer for Windass in the region of £700,000, while Sheffield Wednesday are holding out for closer to £1.2 million. This £500,000 gap could prove decisive, especially given Rangers' need to keep spending in check. Meanwhile, Gassama's wage demands £15,000 per week would push him towards the upper echelons of the Ibrox payroll. Kieran Maguire, a respected football finance expert, warns,
Sheffield Wednesday's fire sale presents Rangers with a golden opportunity, but the club must exercise discipline. Overpaying now could jeopardize the club's stability for years to come.
But it's not all about money. The question of fit looms large. Windass's agent has made it clear his client wants European football, something Rangers can offer. This gives Rangers an edge over English clubs. But there are tactical questions. Windass is known for his relentless pressing and direct play, attributes that may not perfectly align with Russell Martin's more measured, possession-based style. A veteran Scottish football scout explains, Windass offers flexibility. He can operate across the front line, drop deep, or stretch defenses with his runs, but his history of injuries cannot be ignored. It's a calculated gamble. Gassama, meanwhile, is less of a sure thing. His electrifying pace and flair have wowed analysts, but he remains unproven at the highest level. Alex Ray, a former Rangers midfielder and now a pundit, sums up the risk.
Gassama is a raw diamond. If he settles quickly, he could light up the league. But Rangers need results now. They can't afford a bedding-in period.
All of this is unfolding under the relentless countdown of the transfer window. With less than 2 months until the European season begins, every day counts. The rewards for getting these signings right are enormous. Qualifying for the Europa League group stage could bring in tens of millions in television revenues, ticket sales, and sponsorships. But overspending or signing the wrong players could leave the club hamstrung for years, as has happened to too many clubs in the recent past. Let's imagine the different futures that could unfold. In the dream scenario, Rangers secure both Windass and Gassama. Windass brings experience, leadership, and a proven knack for scoring when it matters most. Gassama injects youthful energy, unpredictability, and a flair for the spectacular. His statistics suggest he is capable of beating 2 out of every 3 defenders he faces in one-on-one situations. The result? A revitalized Rangers attack, blending wisdom and dynamism, capable of challenging Celtic and making a mark in Europe for the first time in years. For the supporters, this would be a statement of intent, a sign that the club is not just aiming to compete, but to dominate. But football rarely follows the script. Integrating 2 new high-profile signings can be a delicate balancing act. Neil McCann, a respected voice in Scottish football, cautions.
Bringing in players is one thing. Getting them to gel, especially under the pressure of Champions League qualifiers and Old Firm derbies, is another challenge entirely. If either Windass or Gassama struggles to adapt, the momentum could swing back to Celtic, and the financial outlay could limit Rangers' ability to strengthen elsewhere. Depth is crucial. One injury or dip in form can unravel months of planning. Consider the middle path. Rangers only succeed in signing Gassama. The upside is clear. His raw pace and dribbling could stretch defenses and create space for other attackers. But without Windass's experience and goal-scoring pedigree, more responsibility would fall on younger or less proven players. Russell Martin might have to rethink his tactics, relying more on counterattacks and exploiting Gassama's strengths, while hoping for breakthroughs from the club's promising academy graduates. The upside is a longer-term project, with lower immediate expectations, but the risk is a lack of firepower when it matters most. Now, the nightmare scenario. Both deals collapse. In this case, Rangers would be forced to scramble for alternatives. Names like Kwame Poku of Peterborough United, valued at £3 million, have been floated. But such a move would eat up a chunk of the club's summer budget. The focus would shift to value signings, perhaps targeting players from Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, or the lower leagues in England and France. This conservative strategy might not excite the supporters in the short term, but it could stabilize the club's finances and set the stage for future growth. It's a playbook that has worked for clubs like Aberdeen and Hibernian, who have punched above their weight in Europe by prioritizing smart, data-driven recruitment over big-name splurges. Whatever happens, this transfer window illustrates a fundamental truth. Football is a business as much as it is a sport. Every signing is a chess move, influenced by analytics, scouting reports, contract negotiations, and the ever-looming threat of financial fair play regulations. Kieran Maguire puts it succinctly. The clubs that chase instant glory by throwing money at problems often end up paying double in the long run. The best-run clubs know when to walk away. Let's look at some historical lessons. In the past decade, more than half of Scottish Premiership clubs that gambled on expensive, headline-grabbing signings failed to qualify for European group stages the following season. The consequences of such mismanagement have been severe: layoffs, points, deductions, relegation, and even bankruptcy. The story of Hearts in the early 2010s is a case in point. A club that overspent in pursuit of success, only to suffer administration and relegation for their troubles. Conversely, Aberdeen's shrewd recruitment in 2019, focusing on undervalued players and smart contract structures, propelled them to the Europa League group stages and solidified their financial footing. For Rangers, the stakes are uniquely high. The pressure is not just external, coming from Celtic's relentless success, or the expectations of sponsors and fans, but internal as well. Russell Martin and his recruitment team must balance immediate needs with long-term sustainability, taking into account the club's wage structure, transfer budget, and future revenue streams. One misstep, a panic buy, a bloated contract, or a player who fails to adapt could set the club back by years. On the flip side, one masterstroke in the market could usher in a new era of dominance. So what is the best course of action for Rangers? The answer lies in a delicate blend of patience, boldness, and strategic discipline. They must resist the temptation to get drawn into bidding wars, even as rival clubs throw bigger and bigger offers on the table. They must focus on players who fit Russell Martin's tactical vision and have the mental toughness required for the unique pressures of Glasgow. And above all, they must keep one eye on the future, ensuring that every move strengthens the club for the seasons to come, not just for the next few months. For supporters, the lesson is clear. Transfers are only one piece of the puzzle. The most successful clubs combine smart recruitment with investment in youth development, top-tier coaching, and a culture where every player is held accountable. It is this holistic approach, the full football ecosystem, that determines whether a club rises to the top or languishes in mediocrity. Looking beyond the summer, the implications of Rangers' transfer dealings will ripple through Scottish football for years. If Windus and Gassama arrive and deliver, Rangers could break Celtic's stranglehold and restore parity to the old firm rivalry. Success in Europe would bring not only prestige, but also much-needed revenue, boosting the Scottish coefficient and attracting higher-caliber players to the league. If the deals fall through, or if the signings flop, the window could be remembered as a costly missed opportunity, and the club could face another cycle of rebuilding. There's also a broader lesson here for clubs everywhere. Patience and discipline in the transfer market are often rewarded. Recent studies show clubs that wait for the right deals, rather than panic buying in the final hours, are twice as likely to achieve their season's objectives, whether that's winning the league, qualifying for Europe, or simply surviving. The flashiest signings do not always deliver. Sometimes, it's the carefully chosen, well-researched additions that make the difference. Finally, consider this. Football is a game of both heart and head. Rangers' next moves will be watched by fans, rivals, and analysts across the continent. The decisions they make in the coming weeks could define not only the next season, but the very identity of the club for years to come. So what do you think? Should Rangers splash out for proven experience like Windus, gamble on the untapped potential of Gassama, or pivot to lesser-known gems? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your opinion could spark the next big debate on our channel. If this deep dive into the economics and intricacies of football transfers has captured your imagination, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more expert breakdowns of the deals and dramas shaping the world's most popular game. Remember, in football, as in life, the smartest moves are those made with both passion and prudence. Until